The definition of afro. I feel like I should know of
Sounds
anybody.
good. A thick hairstyle consisting of very tight curls that sticks out all around the head, like the natural hair of some black people.
So okay, well I guess.
So I didn't know how you wanted to introduce it, but I was thinking,
Welcome back to episode 2.
I was thinking right before this song, not song, this podcast we started recording. I made my rating system, like I wrote it out and
Oh,
everything,
dope. Okay.
and I was trying to write the opposite of perfect song, a perfect song. So this is for my 0.
Mhm.
What would be the exact opposite of perfect? Because like imperfect, this means it's not flawless. Like I don't think there is a word that means perfect, but in the other direction. Like every possible thing about this song is wrong, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean it'd be like useless. You could use a word. You could just use like something stupid like bagel, because a bagel is not a song at all. So a song that is so bad that has nothing good about it is almost like a bagel, because they don't serve the same purpose, but in terms of music they do. Do you see what I'm saying?
I guess,
Because
but
bagels aren't for music. Does that make sense?
I guess I just put this shouldn't exist. So
That works too. That's also
yeah,
good. I like that too. Um, you could also call it a Tuesday Slide by Drake as your number
right.
0. Did you
Yeah,
like that segue?
I do. So we realized very quickly that the top 10 doesn't change very often,
No, it doesn't.
or very much, I should say.
Not like so much that we have a completely new list to talk about.
Right. So we have 2 new songs to talk about, and we're going to talk about. This was my idea. I'm going to give myself
It's a
credit
good
because
idea. I like it a lot.
we're going to talk about the top 10 the week that the album we were talking about came out. In this case, what I think it was November 8th was the day it came out, which is the week of
This is
the 11th.
11th. Yeah.
The Billboard does it on Saturday and not the following week. It's not Saturday to the next Friday. It's that Saturday to the previous Sunday, which is the weirdest system I've ever
Every
seen in my entire life.
fucking school and church and every calendar and every job I've ever been at looks at the week differently. Like all their
It,
weeks start in different places, and it's like, what the fuck? Why is it? You know what I'm talking about?
I do. I really do. I
Yeah,
hate it
because
so
like
much.
some jobs pay on Monday, and then some pay on Friday, and then some shit's like, oh, Thursday is when we start over. Fucking why? Sunday is the first day on the calendar for a reason. Why don't we fucking make everything? Oh, because there's separation of church and state. That's why. Damn.
If God so help, that's a slippery slope to get wrong. So
Yeah, unfortunate. Um, but yeah, so we
anyway,
have 2 new songs, current songs, and then we have the week of the 11th of 1975, which is actually the year I was born.
that's not true. I can verify I was there. Um,
I was there and I didn't see him being born. No, it's actually the year my spirit was born.
that might be true. I can
Oh
verify
boy.
that.
So yeah, do you want to start with the current songs?
Yes, because there's
Cool.
only 2.
Yeah, cool. Do you want to start or do you want me to? I don't remember.
I'll start. So
Okay.
the first song is Tuesday Slide. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. By Drake. And I have to say,
Yeah.
it is better than the collab with Future. The what
Okay.
is it?
Okay.
Best Life or something? What's it? I don't even know what that
Life is
song's called.
good.
Same thing.
Yeah, whatever.
Is but that's not really saying anything. That's like saying it's saying nothing. It's saying Bagel is a song, basically.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead.
I just said it's better than the Future collab, but this isn't for me. And then I put Let's Rhyme Slide with
With
itself
slide
times,
4 times.
which it is the chorus, so it's a little more
I
forgivable.
guess.
But it's just bad songwriting.
The first word I wrote in my notes is just nah. It's just not. That's how I feel about this song. Nah, it's it honestly starts kind of strong. Like it starts all right. If the rest of the song was more like the first like 10 seconds, then I'd be into it. But the chorus is so bad, and it's just so obviously like. To me, this song felt like Drake being like, "I'm a fucking hit maker, baby." You know what I'm saying? He has this formula where he has like a couple singles, and they destroy the charts, and then he's like, and then an album or whatever, and then I don't know, he's got like a Drake cycle, and this is the first one, this first song where I'm really like, all right, buddy, just give it a rest, or something, you know?
Yeah.
Cause,
Apparently, this is like um, there's a dance challenge
yeah,
called the 2Z Slide.
uh
I've
huh.
never heard of this. Of course, I don't go on the internet. Um,
Yeah, me neither.
it's supposed to be a modern day cha cha slide, but like the cha cha slide
It's actually
is
good. A good song. It's
it
at least
well,
like catchy and
it's
silly.
definitely a catchy and fun song. I wouldn't call it good necessarily.
Yeah, but Drake can't make a song. He can't make a fun song because he'll just talk about how he's sad that his baby mama doesn't like him anymore or something,
Yeah,
or how
right.
motherfuckers want to kill him. The idea of somebody wanting to kill Drake is so funny to me. Like, why would you want to kill him other than the fact that he's fucking annoying? I don't
I
know.
gave it a 4 out of 10, which means I don't care for it. I said this is not for me. I don't care for it.
I
Uh,
just I just gave it a bad.
yeah, and I just figured I would rate it so that I appear more prepared than you, even though the opposite.
Yeah, David. I was sitting here with my computer getting ready to record, and he was like, "Wait, I gotta listen to four more songs." But it's okay. I actually did all of this last night, so I'm only.
Well, I listened to Chicago. Oh wait, never mind. I was gonna say, oh, it's a secret. It's not a secret. It's in the title.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't even fucking mention that. That's right. The album of this week is Chicago 9, but we'll get to that in roughly 45 minutes.
I listened to that like the day after we recorded last week's, and then like the next 3 days, I kind of wrote all my stuff out, but I never looked at the lyrics really. So we'll get to that.
That's my job.
Yeah, we'll get to that. All right, next song.
Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. I fucking love this song. Holy shit, dude! It's so catchy, and and
Um,
it is like a pure pop song, but I still
it
like
is.
it. It is, but since it's by The Weeknd, the lyrics are like really sad. That's how all of his songs are. Um,
I said right off the bat, the synth line is really good.
mm-hmm.
I really like the synth, and it's kind of funny because it almost has that like 80s
Yeah,
cheesy sound, but like in a really good way.
you know what it reminds me of is "Tell It to My Heart" by Taylor Dane.
I
It's
mean,
very similar because it starts with that
Tyler,
like really
like Tyler Harris.
high, huh?
I only know the cover version by Tyler Harrison.
Oh,
So
the fucking worst one. Just kidding. Go stream that on Spotify now, please. Anyway.
I give it an 8 out of 10. Go
Oh,
check it out.
you said what? Oh,
I give it an 8 out of 10. Go
no,
check it out.
but yeah, in the original song, it starts with like a really high synth line, and the setting sounds really similar to this one, and obviously that's one of my favorite fucking songs of all time. So it only stands to reason that I would also love this song, and also like I don't have a TikTok, but I see them on like Twitter and shit, and there's like this video where it's
Is this a
like,
TikTok song?
huh?
Is this one of those TikTok songs that's like everyone makes a TikTok to it?
Yeah, but they do like jazzercise dancing. It is the funniest shit I've ever seen, David.
What?
I'll have to send you one later. It's like there's like this one where it's like this old dude and he's like sitting at the table and the song is starting and he's like sad and then his kids come in and they're like, "Come on, dad." And he like looks up and he goes, "They need me." And then they start dancing to this song. It's like what the fuck? But it's so good and the song is so good. It's good. I gave it a good.
Um, I said catchy chorus. I really like it. It's a little repetitive.
Mhm.
Only like 3 minutes and 15 seconds or something like that, so it doesn't really bother me. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I think it's gonna grow on me and bump it up to an 8 out of 10. Um,
Solid.
but
Solid.
I
Yeah,
do like
I
it.
can
7 out of 10 means I like it.
I can I can see what you're saying where you say like repetitive. Um and it's not like necessarily a bad thing either. And like also I feel like that genre, a lot of songs are like that. Um which all just makes it more like acceptable, I guess. Maybe acceptable is not the right word, but you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, no, that one's good. I added it to my playlist. Honestly, I love it. I'm gonna be bumping
Um,
that.
I almost added it to my playlist. I think the more I listen to it, the more I'll like it, and the more I will add it to my playlist. I'll have like four of them, four of the same song in there. Um, so yeah, those are the two new ones. That's number one, which I want to say I think that fully deserves the number one position.
Over Tuesday Slide, absolutely,
Not even like Susie Slide shouldn't be on there. It's only on there
because there's
because
a dance challenge,
there's a dance. Yeah.
and everybody's inside. Um,
So on to
wait, I just want to
November.
say real quick
Oh,
before last week Tuesday Slide was above Blinding Lights, and then I went to check. I went to like fully write my reviews last night, and Blinding Lights had overtaken Tuesday Slide. So in other words, fuck Tuesday Slide. Anyway, go
agreed.
ahead.
So we did. Now I'm moving on to 1975.
Yeah.
Not the band, the year.
What was going on in 1975, David?
Well,
I
I
feel
don't
like
know, but
I Chicago 9 by Chicago had been released.
that's true.
The
I
Vietnam War was ending.
oh,
Is that right? Yeah.
I think it was over by then, but I could be wrong.
I
I know
think that was like when it was winding down, I
my favorite Wings album, which is different from Paul McCartney,
thought.
came out in '75. Venus and Mars. We'll get to that one day, maybe or not. I don't know.
Most likely. What else?
Probably.
What else went on? I'm trying to think. There's probably like all this cultural significant shit that we're missing.
No, probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
I
All
think
right.
1975 was born.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think that's why they call it that. All
They
right.
were all born in 1975. Anyways, the top 10, we have it here.
Is it
Number 10, we're just going to jump into it.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, number 10, Low Rider
Low
by
Rider.
Wolf. All my friends love the Low Rider. Is it love? Like? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Let's find out. What do you think?
Well, this song is like iconic before we even get to like what we think about it, right? Isn't this a meme song?
I don't kinda. If definitely you stretch the definition, it would be. But
Okay, that's what I knew it wasn't like I wasn't sure. But I feel like I had seen it around in memes. But I feel like also the sax, both of the sax. Hold, I forget how it sounds now. Dun, 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 dun.
that's gonna sound awful for that. But I,
But that's been sampled a bunch. I think the part at the end. I don't know if you know, but the part at the end, there's the sax goes like or like something like that. That was actually sampled too, and that was like a fucking top 40 hit. So that's just more interesting than anything. As for the song itself, it's definitely like a cool feel good jam, but it's a bit repetitive. And yeah, it just kind of like keeps going. And by like the third verse, I'm like, okay, I get it. He's right. He's got a cool car. Everybody fucking loves him. I want to be him.
yeah, I it is groovy. I like it. The groove is pretty good. I do like the bass and not the instrument, the singer. I like that, but there's nothing going on in this song,
Yeah.
and it's like, isn't it like 4 minutes or something? And it's like this could be like a minute and a half, and I would like it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Um,
I feel like I think it's only like 3 minutes, but or maybe three and a half ish. But
certainly feels like
yeah, I was gonna say it feels like it's fucking. It feels a little longer because yeah, it's just kind of like the same thing, and like they're really subtle things you can do to make a song feel fresh, even if it's like 5 minutes long. Um, but maybe I mean I feel like that's not necessarily what they were setting out for when they wrote this song. You know?
Right. I I gave it a 6 out of 10, which means it's all right.
Yeah,
Like if this I when I was if I was listening to this album, I probably wouldn't skip it,
yeah.
but I would like be like, oh, I need to show my friends this song
You wouldn't be like,
or
oh,
anything.
yeah, Lowrider by War is coming on. Yeah, hold on to your butts.
Right. What do you give it? Did you rate these?
Yeah, I
Probably
gave
not.
it a, but I used my system, and I didn't use the 1, 2, 3 system because I'm only probably gonna do that for like albums. And I didn't have to
Yeah.
do that for Chicago because it's my album. So I gave it good. It's I didn't add it to my playlist though. I don't quite like it that much. I would add it to maybe like a chill if I was making a playlist for like a chill get together or something. I might put it on there. But
Uh,
I
it's
feel
the
like
kind of thing that
go
would
ahead.
be good for road trip,
Yeah,
but like, only once
yeah,
in a lifetime.
yeah. Exactly.
Also, this has 7 songwriters.
Really.
Yes. I don't know what they wrote,
That's how
but
you make it. That's how you make a top 10 hit, baby. You gotta have more than 4 writers. That's
they
the
work.
that's the key. Yeah, that's the key. Look at every top 40 song ever.
Speaking of more than one songwriter,
Oh yes, perfect. Number 9 is what if that's like not what you meant? You're like no, and then you just bring up like "Bridge Over Troubled Water" by Simon and Garfunkel. I'm like, why are you talking? Okay, anyway, number
song.
9, "The Way I Want to Touch You" by Captain and Tennille. Um, so I'll just say, the lyrics kind of suck. Like
Lyrics are awful.
stinky butt ass. Thank you, bro. Lyrics are garbage,
So
dude.
bad.
But the song itself, the music is pretty good. Have you heard This is pretty much the only Captain Tennille song that like anybody knows. But "Love Will Keep Us Together."
Not. I don't recognize it from the title. I might have heard it before.
It's another Captain Tennille song, and so the cool thing is uh, it's a really good song, and that's like their most well known song, I think. And this song sounds similar to "Love Will Keep Us Together," but it's not so similar that it's like the same song. It's similar enough that it's like, oh, cool. And it's like they just have these really like, especially in the bass, there's like really distinct like patterns and stuff they do. The only thing is for this song, it just makes me wish I was listening to "Love Will Keep Us Together." This song isn't. I mean, once you get past the lyrics, it's not bad. I
I
don't think.
disagree a
You
little bit.
disagree? You don't like it?
It's meh. I gave it a well. It's generic 70s like adult contemporary. Like I've
Yeah.
heard this song a million times. I do like the harmonies,
Uh huh.
but the lyrics kind of ruin that, so they
Yeah.
kind of cancel out. I said I wouldn't skip it, but I definitely wouldn't say I like it.
Fucking the lyrics are like, how do they go?
I never wanted to touch a man the way that I want to touch you.
But she starts. She goes, "I never want." She says, "I never wanted" twice, and it's just
Yes, I never
weird.
want.
It feels like
I
she's
never
like.
wanted to touch a man.
It doesn't feel like she's like tripping over herself when she sings it in the song. It's just weird.
It just, I don't know. It just sounds bad. And then it's like the chorus is like, "You are sunshine, you are shadows, you are morning, you are night, you are hard times, you are good times, you are darkness, you are light." What a freaking boring,
Yeah.
generic, absolutely. It says nothing. I mean, I'm sure like she did write this from her heart or something like that, but like,
At this point, we've heard that might have been like, bit, that might have been like a new thing in the '75. But I feel like now, I mean, Kanye West did something like that, but he did it better. Anyway, I said the song is decent. It's okay. I agree. I wouldn't like skip it, but I would. If anything, I would listen to it so I could laugh at the fucking lyrics with friends.
I gave it a 5 out of 10. And I want to emphasize my ratings are only based on enjoyability. if I enjoy something because it's bad, it's still gonna get like a 7 out of 10.
Oh,
Kind of.
okay.
So yeah, 5 out of 10. I don't like it. Did not. Well, I shouldn't say I don't like it, but I. It's not that I dislike it, but it's that I don't like it. Does
Right.
that make sense? I
Yeah,
think it does. I hope it does.
I get it.
Speaking of Feelings by Morris Albert, it was awful. I hated it
Oh my
so much.
god. It was
It was
so
so boring.
boring. It's so boring.
That's what I wrote. It's boring. So very boring.
I feel like it starts with like it's like the chord progression and everything going on is interesting. They just
Eh,
didn't do anything with it. Like
It's just boring.
yeah,
That's all I can.
yeah, and it's just like the same thing for like 4 minutes, I think.
It's way too long. However long.
The
Doesn't matter how long. It's still too long.
the strings do this like really weird thing. You know what I'm talking about? They do like some kind of, would you call that a lick? They just go
I
like
guess. A riff.
a riff, yeah. They do some kind of riff at the end of their riff. Where just kidding, but like before the measure starts over, they go like dee 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 dee, and it just sounds weird and like
It
not
does.
good. And the thing
I
is,
will say.
go ahead.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Up to you. Okay. I will say, I think if Frank Sinatra had covered this song and had someone do a different arrangement, one that doesn't suck ass,
Mm-hmm.
I think this song would be fucking great.
It's got
But as
potential.
it's awful. It's especially way too repetitive.
Yeah.
If even if it is like 2 minutes, it feels like it's like even longer than QZ Slide, to be honest. Because at
It's
least that, like, I don't know.
it's
It's bad.
definitely well, it's definitely like at least 4.
Let's find it out. It's way too long.
It's long as fuck.
This guy, Morris Albert, I'm pretty sure this was his only hit ever. And like, if you go to Spotify, he has like one album, and it's a greatest hits album or something like that. I hate artists like that.
Doesn't make any sense.
And it's just this song 500 times.
It's all the different versions of it.
Right.
This is a DJ Snake remix. And this is the acoustic.
3:46. 3 minutes 46
I
seconds.
feel like almost 4. What? No way, dude. I swear to God, this song was. I thought if you would have asked me before, like, telling me, I would have been like, oh, it's probably like 4.5 minutes long.
Yeah, not a fan. 3 out of 10. Not a fan.
I said meh. I do want to say, yeah, it's meh. It's boring. It keeps going. What else? Also, don't name a song "Feelings." That was the worst name for anything I've ever heard in my life.
So the version we had was 4 minutes and 6 seconds.
Okay.
So I think that was the single version that was
Okay.
3 minutes.
That makes sense.
But I have no clue.
So we could have spared ourselves like 15 seconds
Maybe.
of feelings.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, no, I don't like it.
Just kidding.
Speaking of
Songs.
number 7 is this will be an everlasting love by Natalie Cole.
I didn't write her name down.
I fucking love this song.
I
Holy
absolutely love
shit.
this song.
Dude, it is impossible to listen to this song and be sad.
I agree.
It's just it's one of those songs that just feels good. Feels like the color yellow, I think. It's very groovy. And the trumpets are like well, I don't know if it's just trumpets, but like the brass in the song is so tight with like the ba da da ba da ba.
Right. It's really good.
It's good.
When this came on, I was like, the intro was so good. I wrote down, said finally something that is catchy but also has something going on, because I think Lowrider is pretty catchy but there's nothing going on.
Right.
The intro is so good. with all the horns and the piano, especially. Like, he's not really doing anything special, but whoever the piano player is,
Mm-hmm.
it the it's just so good. The rhythms he's playing, the way he's doing it, the way he's just feeling so good. There goes feeling. It gives me
Yeah.
good feelings.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's like the opposite of the last song.
Pretty much. It's like the polar opposite.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
Wow, I didn't even realize. I kind of just said that offhand, but it like totally is. But yeah, no, this one was good. I actually knew this song beforehand because this is like my genre of music.
I think I've heard it before. My mom really likes this kind of stuff. It's like
Yeah.
everything from pound to soul and like a little bit of funk.
Yeah.
I think I've heard it before, but I don't really recognize it. The chorus definitely sounds familiar though. But I really, really like it.
You probably heard it from like commercials, because it's in like a lot of movies and stuff too.
Yeah, it sounds like a commercial song in a good way. I really loved at the end when it got really like intense.
Yeah.
I don't even know where it is in the lyrics. I think it's when he's like, the love, the love, the love, the love, the love, or whatever.
This will be you and this hugging and kissing and squeezing and pleasing. Oh man, dude.
That part, that's so good.
That's so good, bro. That just makes you want to get up and stomp your feet. You know, and fuck, hugging and kissing and squeezing. I'm headbanging right now. You can't see at home. Thank God. Luckily. But anyway, good. I gave this one a good. I already had the song on my playlist. I fucking loved it.
I gave it an 8 out of 10, which means I love it. I think it'll grow on me, maybe to 9. We'll see. But for now, 8 out of 10, which is not bad at all.
Nice. Well, you don't really have to justify it. It's your... Yeah, that's something I was going to say earlier. Our ratings are literally solely based off our opinions, which are just our stupid opinions. So like, yeah, that's just how it is.
Yeah, like I said, it's based off enjoyability for me. If I like the lyrics, especially, I will probably bump it up. If I especially dislike them, I'll bump it down. I don't care about the lyrics. That's not what my prerogative is. It's just, am I enjoying myself listening to this song? I do enjoy the song.
Speaking of liking things,
That's the Way. I Like It by Casey and Band. The first thing I wrote down was, this is catchy and poppy. That's the way I like it. And then it got really repetitive, and I was like, really? I thought this song was like going to be really, really good. It disappointed me, because of course I know this song.
Yeah.
But I never really
like
listened to it. It's really disappointing. I'm just going to say that.
I can respect that. I honestly, this song is literally exactly the same case as for number 7. Like, I had known this song before. I had already liked it, so when I saw that it was in this playlist, I was like, fuck yeah, this is going to be the best week ever. It wasn't the best week ever, but, no, and like, so here's the thing, and my dad explained this to me, and this is just an explanation, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're wrong for saying it's repetitive, because it totally is. It's just like the same thing for the whole song, but I don't know if I've already told you this before. I know I definitely talked to Dane about this, I think, but like, songs from this time, a lot of like dance songs. Oh, here's my cat. She's sniffing the mic. You can't see her. There she is. Can you see her?
I can.
There she is. Anyway, songs like this that are like dance songs, from the 70s and stuff. A lot of them are really repetitive like that, and they just keep going on, and they're like 17 minutes long because everybody was just like dancing. So like they didn't want the song to end, so the band would just keep playing. And so that's why a lot of disco and like dancier songs are like super repetitive, is because you just want the music to keep going so you can keep dancing. However, when you're just listening to it, it's a little repetitive.
It's very.
Yeah. So
I was hoping the verse would be really catchy and fun, but it's so bland and boring that I didn't like it. Like, I don't know.
That's valid.
I still like the song, but it's way too repetitive for me to really like it. Really like it. Um, it's all right.
I'd have to
Also,
be. Go ahead.
I wish it either changed up more than it does, or at all. I don't honestly hear it changing at all. Or it was just better because it's not a good enough groove to go on for however long the song is, in my opinion, to me. But
Yeah, that's the only. Yeah, I think it is a good enough groove. I don't mind it. I don't mind it going on. But also, it's definitely a song that like you kind for me at least I have to be like doing something. Um, like if I'm doing something, or worse, if I'm doing something that's kind of like slow and repetitive, then I can't listen to the song because it just stretches on whatever I'm doing more. But if I'm like cleaning, I will fucking blast this song, dude.
that's fair. I can definitely. This is definitely like background music,
Yeah.
which is isn't a bad thing necessarily. But me personally, that's not the way. I like it, or just say that's not the way. That I like it.
Uh-uh.
At least most of the time. I definitely would still listen to this song. Like I would not skip it in the album because it's fun.
Yeah.
That chorus is so catchy. They knew that they had like one of the best choruses ever, so they just
Yeah.
repeated it in their song.
Which I mean, if it ain't broke, I guess. But yeah, I do. I gotta say, I think your criticism is definitely valid. Um, but I still like it. I think it's a good song.
Would you give it?
I gave it a
This
good
one?
thumbs up.
Give it 6 out of 10. All right. The next song, Heat Wave by
Heat Wave.
Linda
Ronstadt.
Ronstadt. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
I think it's Ronstadt.
I have no clue. Go
Jake.
with
Jake and I were at that antique mall, and he showed me a picture of her, or like there's like an album of hers, and he told me to check her out. She's pretty hot back in the day.
She's got a weird haircut, I think.
I don't remember.
No, that was just the picture I saw. It's weird.
I'm gonna look at a picture of her right now. But anyway, oh no, this is my song to talk about, isn't it?
Sure.
I think.
I don't know. Yes, I think you were supposed to introduce it. You can introduce the next two.
That's okay. No, I just forgot because I'm right now I'm googling a picture of Linda Ronstadt, and I was like, God, I hope David says something. Oh, she does have a weird haircut in some of these.
She is pretty hot, but the song, Tyler, the song.
It's good. I like it. Yeah, young Linda Ronstadt. Ooh, yeah, young Linda Ronstadt's really hot. Anyway, it's good. It's got a really cool little like lick that I don't remember what it sounds like right now. How it's like or something like that. Whatever it is, it sounds good. I like it.
Yeah, I did like this song, but I can't really remember what it sounds like right now, which is kind of a bad thing in some ways, I guess. I don't know. I remember the like Heat Wave, which
is what the song's called.
A good hit. Yes, it's a good not hit, but a hook.
Yes.
The chorus, the beginning, the first line.
Yep.
Really good.
That's what I wrote. It's like one of the things, like really good hook. It's pretty high energy, but it's definitely one of those. It's not very like memorable.
Yeah, it does have a nice guitar solo. Not a great one, but a nice one.
A nice what, you said?
Guitar solo.
Oh yes. Yeah, the music. I mean, the music is all pretty cool. I feel like it's just kind of standard.
I agree.
And that might be because I don't know anything about Linda Ronstadt, but I think her deal is like she's just one of those. I don't know if she wrote her own songs.
She didn't write this song.
Okay, so I feel like that kind of took a little bit of the like personality out of it, you know.
Right.
And I think if that if that was there, I feel like the song would be a little better and maybe a little more memorable.
I agree. I still like it. I give it 7 out of 10. Did not add it to my playlist, but I did give it a green heart on
It's
Spotify.
close. It's very close to being added to I didn't add it in my playlist either, but it is very, very, very close.
You want to introduce the next one? Make up for
Yeah, sure,
me.
dude.
Preparation.
Speaking of young Linda Ronstadt, the next song is called "Miracles" by Jefferson Starship. And if you thought "Feelings" was long and boring, then wait till you hear fucking "Miracles" by Jefferson Starship. Oh my god, dude! It's like 6 minutes long. Well, the version that was on the playlist that we had was 6 minutes long.
The single was cut in half, which is the one that got popular.
Makes
But I
sense.
just did the album version because I'm a purist in that regard. Um,
I think it's got some cool stuff going on, but it's so long and it's like it's a ballad and like holy shit, dude. By the end of the song, I'm just kind of like fucking come on. And I don't know if it's like the mixing or what, but something in this like everything just sounds weird. It's like this to me, listening to this song is like looking at a puzzle that's like put together and all the pieces are in place, but the pieces like aren't quite the right like shape. So it like fits together, but it still looks wrong.
I see.
Does that make any sense?
I This song baffles me. I don't know if you know this. So Jefferson Starship is the same band as Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah, they just changed their fucking name.
And Jefferson Airplane was one of the like psychedelic bands of the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Like not like the Beatles where they just had a psychedelic period. They were a psychedelic band.
They want some
And to
like
hear them have this like disco song almost,
yeah.
like it's crazy to me. Um I That being said, I actually like it.
Do you like it?
I do. I It doesn't go anywhere for a really long time though.
Yeah.
It should be shorter, like a lot shorter. Maybe not 3 minutes shorter. Not maybe not cut in half,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely could be cut off. Like some of these verses that are the same and kind of boring. Um, I was in the middle of the song. I was kind of getting bored of it, and I was like, seriously, like this still goes on for another 3 minutes. And then the saxophone came in, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was expecting that to like take us out to the outro. I think it was actually like 2 minutes left or something like that. I don't know. Whenever the saxophone solo shows up, I was expecting that to be our outro,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't. And I was like, you just missed the perfect opportunity. If that saxophone would have took us out to the ending, you would have had a decent to a good song. If you had cut out like two verses, maybe. I I don't know. I Also there's an organ in it, which is always a plus. I can never
Organs are pretty cool.
I can never talk bad about organs. I want to like it more than I do. I'll say that
Me
much
too, honestly.
because it does have a good vibe to it.
It's yeah, it's close. And like I said, there's some cool stuff going on. But I also feel like at least on the version that we listened to, the lyrics were like kind of quiet, and everybody who was singing sounded like scared, like they weren't totally sure what they're supposed to sing and like when they're supposed to sing it, and that really took away from it for me. Um,
I noticed.
yeah.
Don't
um,
know what it, but
the lyrics are kind of cool. Well, there's a part where they say like if you believe in miracles, so do I, or so will I, or something like that, and the chorus is solid. Um, but yeah, it gets lost in all the other nonsense that's floating around. It's like if you're looking in a puddle, if you're looking in like if you're bobbing for apples, and all the apples are rotten except for that one. It's kind of like that. That was a bad analogy because I'm because you don't have to eat all the apples. You can pick out the good one. But the idea was it's like a soup full of rotten apples and one good apple. And then you drink the soup and you're like, ah, fuck. There's a good apple in there, but the rest is just all this other. And there's like some fingernails and like hair in here too and shit. Ugh.
Normally have apples in your soup.
That was the first thing I could. Well, what else do you put whole apples in?
You don't put whole apples in anything. You just eat the apple. I don't. You put it in a
A
hollow
basket.
pig, like when you have a roast pig.
Oh yes,
Anyway,
of course, yes. Thank you.
I gave it a 7 out of 10. I like it, but I want to like it more.
I gave it a decent. So decent is like not bad, but not like great, but not bad.
All right. Speaking of, it's your turn again.
Speaking of love, the next song is "Who Loves You" by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I fucking love this song. This is another song like Natalie King Cole. I had known the song for a while, thought it was fucking awesome. Showed up on our playlist. I was like, hell yeah.
I I knew it not from the name. I'd heard the chorus before. I had no clue this was Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. This is the last thing I would expect to hear from them.
It's like Helter Skelter and the Beatles for people who like don't listen to them a lot. They'd be like, "What? That's the Beatles? I thought they only wrote like fucking pop songs."
But in my eyes, the Beatles were known for diversity as well. I guess maybe that's biased, but like, because like
It
Strawberry
is.
Fields Forever, it, Penny
Yeah, but
Lane,
like most people when they think of because like Helter Skelter is like a hard rock song. So
right.
like yeah, most people are like, "Oh, that's." Most people who I've shown that to, who I'm friends with, they'll be like, "What the fuck?" Because they think when they think of the Beatles, they think of like either like yeah weird psychedelic shit or like just like pop, like '60s pop nonsense. Then that's like what they
Right.
think, and that's why I'm like, well, why don't you check this shit out? Well, this is not a Beatles podcast. We're talking about.
It could be. Anyways, thank you. I like it, but the intro is a bit much. I wish it didn't repeat the chorus 3 times.
Yeah, it's fucking long.
Um, I didn't like. I don't think I like it as much as you.
Probably
'Cause
not.
it's kind of generic, 70s like soft rock to me.
Yeah, I
Like
can
this
see
is
that.
something I would expect my dad to listen to in the car,
Hmm.
and like I'll probably like enjoy it, but not. I wouldn't seek it out afterwards. You know,
It's the kind of music that I throw on in the car. So,
that's fair. Dad,
um, but yeah, some of the harmonizing is pretty neat. I don't know if it's harmonizing or like effects, but it's cool. And the cool thing about
there are more.
I like this song a lot because it's one of those songs that, like you were saying, like when people think of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, they don't think of songs like this necessarily, um, and that's what I like about it. But yeah, I
See,
like it. I gave it a good.
I really like that the style of Frankie Valley and the Four Seasons, like the typical stuff, like Walk Like a Man,
Hmm.
because that's like fun, poppy, like stuff. And not that this isn't good necessarily, but it's not. I don't know. I think it's partially because of Frankie Valley that I'm giving it a lower score than you might think, which is not that low actually. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10, which isn't low at all, but
7
I
out of
don't
10.
know. Frankie Valley, I would expect to give at least an 8 to most of their songs. But
Gotcha.
What?
Do you have? Do you, were you like doing that on your like microphone or something?
oh, is that my mic? That's my speaker. I thought that.
Yeah, it's
You
so
hear that?
loud. It's so
I'm
loud.
sorry.
No, you're good. I was like wondering what that was, and I didn't want to cut you off. Um,
I can
but
repeat myself. You can cut this out.
but a
We
7,
should- 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Hell yeah.
Lion Eyes by Eagles, not the Eagles, just Eagles.
Yeah, not the band, an actual group of ball, and it's not lion as in like lying without the G. It's Lion. This is a song about.
This is an animal song.
It's yeah, it's by animals for animals.
We are animals, to be fair.
After all, yeah. What do you think of this one?
I was not feeling it
Really?
until the chorus hit, and then it really, really took off for me.
Really sucked you in?
Yeah, like once I heard that first chorus, I was like really invested in the song because the first like verse part, I guess, was like to
Mm-hmm.
me, and then I think there's like a pre-chorus kind of thing. Something changed up. I think it's the pre-chorus or whatever, and it kind of like I was like, oh, okay, this isn't bad at all. And then it got to the chorus, and I was like, oh shit, this is really good.
Which has really good harmonies.
It was a cool effect too.
Yeah.
I don't typically like that stuff, but it was really cool in this scenario.
Well, this is also kind of like generic '70s soft rock, but it's the Eagles, and they're like
I
the.
don't like.
That's right. Yeah, I love the Eagles. This song, believe it or not, was the same case as number 3 and number 6 and number 7, whereas I had known it and I fucking loved the song before. Um, so yeah, I like it. I will say it's one of those songs where I like it and it's good and I can tell you that I like it, but I can't quite tell you why other than it's just good. Which, in like a really critical discussion, is kind of a bad thing, because that means it doesn't really do anything like super super interesting. But in terms of just listening to music, I like it. So I gave it a good. I like this song. This is on my playlist.
See, I expected not to like this because, and maybe this is wrong, but my perception of your music taste doesn't include like rock like very much. Rock like in the typical sense of what you think of, including soft rock. To me, I guess I'm wrong.
Dude, I went
Um,
through a soft rock phase in 8th grade. Believe it or not.
I'm always in the soft rock phase. I love.
But yeah, no, I went through so yeah, and so actually, there's a lot of like soft rock stuff that I'm into. My music taste is weird. It's just all over the place. It's just what I like for the most part. But I'm definitely there's definitely like a feeling that I get into where this kind of music is like all I want to listen to.
Yeah, I can agree with that. This would be, I'll say, this would be one heck of a road trip song.
Yeah.
It would be really, really good for that. I think this will grow on me a lot. It's a little over long, but I think repeated listenings. I don't think that's a word. Repeated listens will kind of like negate that, I guess. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I like it.
We should make another road trip playlist.
I'm making one right now, so
Nice. Yeah, I gave it a good because I like it.
nice.
Speaking of road trips, the next song is Island Girl.
It has nothing to do with the
You never taken a road trip to an island?
No.
Come on. Well, Jake and I, we drove up to Lake Erie, and then Lake Put Bay is in Lake Erie, so like we kind of took a road trip to an island, but we had to take a ferry to Put Bay. So.
Did you meet a girl who was black as coal and
Okay, listen, listen. Yeah, "Island Girl" by Elton John is a weird song. Everything about it is weird. The like opening hook is weird as fuck to me. It just sounds really disjointed and strange. Um, Elton John, David and I have only known gay Elton John, so hearing Elton John singing about a girl is so weird.
Yeah,
It just
that's
feels
true.
wrong.
I believe this song was written by Bernie Sanders. He wrote this song for Elton John in the 70s. No, Bernie Taupin. I don't know how to say his name.
Uh-huh.
And I've heard that Bernie is like kind of like sexist and racist, subtly ish.
Mm.
So this song makes me uncomfortable especially hearing Elton John sing this, because I know Elton John's not
No, exactly.
such a kind soul and stuff. And it's like, I don't know that it's racist or that it's meant to be racist, but it
It's
makes me
just weird.
uncomfortable.
It's weird.
It's also not catchy enough.
No, yeah, he talks about this Jamaican girl being like black as coal, and it's like, okay. And yeah, it's just some of the stuff, some of the lyrics are just odd. And it doesn't feel like an Elton John song either to me. And
It
like
doesn't.
let's get this straight. I fucking love Elton John. Like, oh my god, he's one of my favorite musicians. Your Song by Elton John is one of my like it's in my top 3 like favorite songs ever in general. Specifically it's number 2. Anyway, but So like I like Elton John a lot, and like I also like stuff like "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me" and "Tiny Dancer" and "Honky Cat" and fucking "Crocodile," you know, like and just all that shit. But yeah,
I love
this one is just not good. I don't like it.
I had you heard this song before this?
No.
Because my I played it for my mom. She had heard it before.
Yeah.
Um, I actually really like Elton John as well. I think my favorite Elton John song is either Benny and the Jets or
Ooh.
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Which are
Those are
also
both really.
both solid as fuck. Yeah.
This one, it it's catchy ish, but it's kind of generic like glam rock again. I still like it, but it doesn't stand out in any way. This is not something. It's not going to grow on me. It might honestly do the opposite, whatever that would be. Die on me.
Uh,
uh,
wear on you maybe.
I guess.
Wear
And
on you.
again, it seems kind of racist.
Yeah.
Like the chorus is "Island Girl, what you wanting with the white man's world?" Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Like
And then "Island Girl, black boy want you in his island world." What does that mean?
well,
I don't want.
it was number one in 75, so I guess everybody was on the same wavelength. But no, I no, yeah, I don't. But it's the same. It's kind of similar to what we talked about with Ram, where like even with songs that I didn't like, there's still Paul McCartney. So there's something about him that I still liked. It's similar with this song because like it's still Elton John, so I'm still kind of like 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 that. Some of it sounds good, but overall, it, it's this song is very middle of the road to me, but it's leaning towards the not good side.
I gave it a 7, which is kind of, as you can tell, is the most popular score I'm ever going to give, which means that I like it, but I don't love it, and I don't um, hate it, I guess.
Yeah.
It's closer to a 6 than an 8, though, like way closer to a 6 than an 8.
Yeah.
But I like it. Disappointing, though, because it's Elton John.
Yes. Yes. Definitely disappointing. I can agree with that for sure.
All right, so that's our stupid opinion on a completely irrelevant list of songs.
Now it's time for our stupid opinions on drumroll please. Chicago 9. Thank you. I cannot hear that from my side, but thank you. I saw the effort.
It's out.
Chicago 9 is so I don't know what the fuck I was talking about at the end of the last podcast when I was like, it's not a greatest hits album, but it's called greatest hits. Yes, it is a greatest hits album. I don't know why the fuck I said that. I think I just thought it wasn't, and so instead of like thinking about it and fact checking it, I just said because I haven't had human interaction in like 2 months. But Chicago 9 is a greatest hits album. Hold on, let me find. So it has songs from their debut album in 1969, which was called Chicago Transit Authority, because that's what they used to be called, like the band, to 1974's Chicago 7. The album itself was a huge success. It hit number one on the Billboard Top 200 albums, and it is certified quintuple platinum. It was released in 1975. The initial members of Chicago were Walter Parazader, Terry Kath, Danny Seraphine, James Pankow, Lee Loughnane, Robert Lamb, and Peter Cetera. And a lot of those guys are like who wrote most of the songs on this album. They were indicted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2016. They started as Chicago Transit Authority in 1968, which I don't know about you, but I think that is a badass name for a fucking Chicago Transit Authority.
That's better than the full name,
but
I think.
They had to change it because the Chicago Transit Authority is an actual thing. That's like if we started a band called.
Okay.
Damn, dude, I was gonna say it's like if we started a band called Central Ohio Transit Authority, but that'd be kind of badass too. Then Coda would be on our butts. Basically, all the rest of the stuff that I wrote down was that they're they've smashed like a lot of records. They're very popular. Chicago is. Um, Maybe not so much anymore, but they definitely like they had their heyday. Um, One more thing before we get into the actual songs. Have you heard of Terry Kath?
I don't think so.
So Terry Kath was the guitarist for Chicago, um, who tragically died in 1978, which was 3 years after this album released. So like in the middle, like it was like near the end of like their beginning, like phase of their career, um,
Mm-hmm.
which it probably helped bring about the end of that phase. So what happened was Terry Kath was at a party and he was fucking around with a loaded gun, and he was like, like just playing with a gun, like when you see a fucking kid play with a gun, he was doing that, and his buddy at the I don't remember who exactly it was, but he looks over and he goes, Terry, stop fucking with that. That's a loaded gun. And Terry said, no, this is not loaded. See? And then he held it up to his head and pulled the trigger, and the gun went off and killed him instantly because it was in fact a loaded gun. Um, so that's very sad.
In your friend view.
Very unfortunate. Yeah, but that's so with that out of the way, Chicago 9. What do you think but without giving your thoughts over the whole album yet, but what do you think of it, like just in like one sentence maybe?
Well, here I'll save that. I'll say what I was thinking going into it.
Yeah.
Uh, I knew a couple songs on here, most notably 25 or 6 to 4
Yeah.
and Begin, um, both of which I do like, and I was really excited. So we'll see how well that held up. But I was very excited going into it. I was really hopeful that I would like it. That sounds like I don't like it, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying going into it, I was really hopeful that this would be an album that I'd be like, okay, cool. I do like Chicago. Chicago 9, their greatest hits, good album kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. We already talked about this, but I fucking love this album. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it. So, do you want to? I don't remember how we did it last episode. Was it? Oh, I think I think you had. I think I gave what I thought about it, and then you said something about like the background of it, and then I gave my rating.
We'll just make it up.
Good idea. That makes more sense. Um, Not gonna lie, David, I gotta pee really bad. So if you want, you can introduce 25 or 6 to 4, and I'll go pee, or we can cut this part out.
Sure. I gotta go grab my charger. We should cut this part out.
Okay. Well, I'll be right back.
Just
Can you say that again?
The part where I came in and I said I got the wrong charger, you should leave that in.
Good idea.
Make me look an idiot.
That's okay. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I make myself look like an idiot enough. It's time for
Right.
It's time for you to join me. Okay, so 25 or 6 to 4, the opening track off of Chicago 9 by Chicago.
It's a classic.
Classic.
I love this song a lot. Like a lot.
It's so good. Oh my god, it's so good.
It's so good. I agree. I do have like 2 criticisms of it.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I guess just one real criticism. The guitar tone, it kind of sounds fake to me. I wish it was crunchier.
Like for the solo?
No, the solo's fine. The intro, like the riff.
It does sound a little weird, doesn't it?
That's the only actual criticism. I absolutely love the guitar solo, but I kind of wish it was like, I don't know, a trombone solo instead.
That'd be pretty badass.
Not because the guitar is bad, the solo is bad. The guitar solo is amazing. I wrote, guitar solo is fucking dope, which it is. But to me, at least, a trombone solo would have been even doper. Or a trumpet solo or sax or something. Just because guitar solos are very popular.
A sax solo would have been pretty badass now that you mention it.
See?
So I'll give you a little... Good?
But that's not really a real criticism. That's just...
like a thought maybe.
Yeah.
Um, we'll go ahead and give you the rundown. So it was written by our boy Robert Lamb in '69 for their second album. Which so here's where Chicago gets confusing. Is their first album was called Chicago Transit Authority. So the first album is technically Chicago Transit Authority by Chicago Transit Authority, and the second album is Chicago by Chicago. So some people call Chicago the album, the first album, Chicago 2,
Which
because
they
of that.
should.
Um, it's very confusing. And some people just call it Chicago because that's technically what it's called. And
But the issue is the next album after Chicago is Chicago 3. That's the issue.
yeah, yeah,
They
you're
could
right.
have either just call it Chicago 2 instead of Chicago 3, or call it Chicago 2 instead of just Chicago.
Exactly.
I. Oh,
Yeah, because all their albums afterwards are just Chicago and then the name or the number rather. But anyway, so yeah, it was written by Robert Lamb in '69 for their second album. Robert Lamb was the keyboardist. It charted at number 4 in 1970. And obviously, like David, like you were saying, it's iconic. It's one of their most well-known songs. The lyrics. What do you think the lyrics are about? Just like take a
I have
guess.
no clue. Um, Going through the day, it looks like. Um,
That's a really good guess, actually. My dad told me that this song was about a score in a game, which is funny because I googled it and it's 25 or 6-4. That phrase is in reference to minutes before 4 a.m. The song is
yeah,
about trying to write a song.
I saw the meaning of the title, 25 or 6-4. It was finished at 3:35 then, which is 25 or 26
Yeah.
minutes until 4 o'clock, which is how do you finish a song without the title or
What?
the like? Because the song was finished at that point,
Yeah.
but that's where the title came from.
You never written
And
a
the
song
title,
without a title?
but the title's in the song. It's the part of the hook.
I
How
don't
did
know.
he get? That's what I don't know.
Oh, I see what
Is
you're
he even
saying.
fine?
No, you're right. Yeah.
Or like he added it in later, but like how do you that boggles me.
That confused the fuck out of me. David and I played this song in high school for jazz band a lot, but it was always I never got bored of it.
I didn't get bored of it, but there's like a certain section because we there's like the song has in the actual song there's like a cool trombone slide part, like a group solo thing.
Yeah,
I would always play that, and there's one section where it goes from like a high D. It's not really high. This was high school me, high D down to like a low F sharp, and that is such an awkward jump that it made me mad. So I didn't like this version, um, but that doesn't diminish my love of the actual song.
the actual song is this song is amazing. How do you think of it as an album opener?
I think it's a really good album opener.
Do you really?
I do. Do you not think so?
I compared to what else is on the album, kind of, but I don't know. My definition of what is a good album opener is still kind of like growing. So
I do think there is a song on here that would be a better album opener, but we'll get to that when we get to that song.
okay. So yeah, what was your rating?
I give it a 9 out of 10, which
Dope,
means it is a personal favorite,
dope.
um, not a perfect song. That would be a 10 out of 10.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, but yeah, fucking 2564, awesome. Next, does anybody really know what time it is? This one is also by Robert Lamb. This one was recorded for their debut album, Chicago Transit Authority. It peaked at number 7. And yeah, there's a spoken word part in here that's really cool. What do you think?
A lot. So the answer to the title, does anybody really know what time it is?
Yes.
The answer is yes. It is 25 or 6 to 4. That's the actual truth. Like, that is the reason this song exists. Or, I don't know about that necessarily, but, like, that's the answer to the question. I looked this up. I Googled it.
Well, that's also why this song comes right after 25 or 6 to 4.
Right.
Maybe,
Also, it's really,
huh?
it's also really, really good. Really, really, really good.
I
Um,
love this song. Oh my god.
I love it too. The piano intro is so good. The trumpet solo, I think it's at the beginning. I think that's where it is. It's really, really good. It's catchy. It's a lot of fun. It's just really fucking fun to just listen and kind of sing along to. Definitely a favorite of mine. And the spoken vocals part, um, it's kind of hard to understand because he's also singing,
Yeah, he's singing over it while he's
but I
talking.
do like it a lot. I
Um,
like spoken word in songs, and this is no exception.
this song feels very like the lyrics have a very loose, carefree attitude, but in like Chicago, like the band is so tight, um, and and so like that's almost like juxtaposed, but it goes together so well. Like the idea, because like the message behind the song is basically like, why the fuck is everyone so uptight? Uh, it's very because it's like it starts like some guy asked me what time it was on my watch, and the answer is, does anybody really know what time it is? Like, who cares?
I do
Um,
like that statement a lot.
yeah,
Um, Especially like the way he says it. Does anybody really know what time it is? I don't.
yeah,
Does anybody really care?
exactly. Yeah, is who fucking like, and that's just something I relate to and can appreciate a lot. Um, Not so much now because nobody knows what time it is because it all feels the same because we're all inside. But beforehand, with like the hustle and bustle of life and just like how much like living by a clock sucks. Uh, Knowing that makes this song like fucking it's awesome.
I agree. I give it an 8 out of 10. I love this song. I think it's going to grow on me a little more. I don't think it'll ever beat out 25 or 6 to 4, though. But yeah,
I
8 out
got
of
you.
10.
Cool. Next up we have "Color My World." This one was by James Pankow. I don't remember what he played. Um,
Trombone.
Trombone. Thank you. That's what
I remember my trombone, uh, not my professor, but the TA. He loves this band, and he wanted me to listen to Chicago,
uh,
aka Chicago 2, which is what I will call it because that's the correct title, even though it's not. It should be.
it should be.
Yeah, he wanted me to listen to that album because he said the lead songwriter or something plays trombone, but Pankow is not necessarily the lead songwriter. I do think he's the one who does most of the arrangements, though.
He's a
I
lead
could be
something,
wrong.
and he's a lead something, and he's one of the founding members.
Yes, and he's
Yeah.
really good at trombone.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to say trombone, but I wasn't sure. Um, anyway, "Color My World." This one was initially released as a B-side to "Make Me Smile." This one did not chart. It was a very popular prom song. And it's unique because it has one. Well, I mean, pretty much all the Chicago songs are unique, but it has a one verse, one solo structure, which is really interesting. Um, yeah, what do you think?
Um, it definitely starts out slow
Yeah,
and didn't immediately jump out at me as anything special, which is kind of disappointing because the first two did. Even though I already know 25 or 6 to 4, even if I didn't, that riff is so good,
hmm
it would have jumped out at me as something like really special. Um, it's nice. I'm definitely not a huge fan of it. At the end with the flute, I did like that a lot. I
yeah.
wish there was more flute in this song. Kind of reminds me of a King Crimson song of all things.
Okay.
But it's all right. Not I'm not crazy about it.
Um, I agree. Honestly, I pretty much only like this song in the context of this album. Um, and the more I think about it, the more I think that 25 or 64 is actually a pretty kick-ass album opener. And I think you're right. I think that like the two possible outcomes with putting Color My World at the third spot behind the last two songs were like it successfully kind of like grounds you or it just throws you off. And I think it more, you know what I'm saying? Because like that's I feel like that's what a slow song does after two, like, because like 25 or 64 is exciting. The second one is also exciting, but in a less like energetic way. But it's exciting. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, it's just like it's just good, and it's still kind of like higher tempo. And then this song, so yeah, David, you mentioned that the it starts slow. It's like I feel like it's a full minute of just piano, art like arpeggiating different chords. And like one time I was doing something really monotonous in this song. I think I was listening to the album and this song came up as I was doing it and I had to like pause the song because it was too much. I was like I can't do that and listen to this at the same time. Um, and I think I do not quite like that about this song. But then it gets into the verse starts and that's interesting. And then like you said, the flute solo is really good. Um, so yeah, it's all right.
I just saw this on the Wikipedia page.
Uh huh.
Frank Sinatra actually wanted to record a version of the song,
That's right. Yeah.
but he needed, or he requested, I guess, that Pankow wrote an additional verse, and he said no, which I guess artistic integrity. But man, if Frank Sinatra wanted to cover my song, I would do anything for that man to cover my song. Anything. Like
I
there's very little that I wouldn't do to have him cover a song that I wrote, or even that you wrote. Any song.
dude, I respect I respect the yeah the artistic integrity. That's kind of badass, but it's probably because at that point hold on, what year was that? That was fuck. Oh, I didn't write down what year that. What year was it?
I don't know. 71.
Yeah, so at that point they had already like hit the number one a couple times, so they probably felt like the fucking biggest badasses ever. Which I mean, granted, so was Frank Sinatra, but you know, like Chicago was a household name at this point, and they had like just started. So yeah, he was probably he's like fuck you, I'm not gonna change my song for fucking Frank who Frank Sinatra, more like lame, more like Plank Sinatra.
See, I would have done it. But I guess artistic integrity is a thing. I understand
Yeah,
why you do it, but I would have probably.
I I probably wouldn't have changed it, but I would have been like, can you do it anyway? I'd be like, please, just do it anyway.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So what's your rating for that guy?
I give it a 6 out of 10.
I could agree
It's
with
all
that. It's all right. You said
yeah, it's all right.
I could agree with that. It's not honestly. This is not. I don't have this song on like the playlist, but the other two are. But this one isn't because it's like I said, I don't really like it out of the context of the album itself.
Right.
Next, Just You and Me. This one was also written by Pankow for Chicago 6. VI is 6, right? Yes, 6. This one debuted at number 11 on the top 100. And it's funny because he wrote this song. Actually, you know what? Tell me what you think about it first.
Um, I can tell that James Panko was the one who wrote it because there is both a trombone solo in the intro and like a trombone soli at the bridge. I think it's the bridge. Um, which I'm a trombone player. I will never not like hearing trombones. Um,
Dude, as a trumpet
the
player, I agree with you.
The instrumentation is really really good. I like the groove. The wah pedal. I don't even remember where this comes in, but I remember really liking the wah pedal. Um, Overall, I really like this song.
This is another song that feels warm to me. Um, it feels like the color yellow, but not the same yellow as the Natalie Cole song. It's more like a mustard yellow. Anyway, um, so it's funny because Pankow wrote it after having a huge fight with his future wife, which is strange. Stranger still, that woman's name was Karen. Yeah. Okay. So what do you think? What's your rating?
Um, I give it an 8 out of 10. I love it. One thing I noticed about the song that really struck me as odd:
Uh huh.
the first two words, or not words, but lyrics. You are my love in my life, and you are my inspiration. Does that or does that not sound like another much more famous Chicago song? You know our love, or sorry, that's not. You're the meaning in my life. You're the inspiration. That's so weird to me. I don't know if that was intentional or what, but like,
Oh
that's
my
weird.
God. I never noticed that, and I love both of those songs.
This is the first thing I noticed when I looked up the lyrics. I was like, oh, is this that song? Because it took me a second to realize, oh, wait, no, obviously it's not that song. Um,
Wow.
which
Wow.
it's kind of cool, though.
That's interesting. Yeah. I wonder if they noticed.
They had to have been told at some point, right?
Probably.
I
Most
don't know.
like I feel it. But you are the first person I've ever heard hear say that personally. But obviously, I'm only one person, and I'm also a dumbass, so it doesn't really mean
Yeah,
anything.
are true.
But anyway, you said an 8 out of 10.
I did.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. Next up, Saturday in the Park. This one is another one written by Robert Lamb for Chicago 5. It reached number 3 on the charts, and the album hit number 1. Uh, this helped the album hit number 1. What do you think?
Um, I like it, but at this point, all the songs are starting to blend together and sound like the same song over and over again to me.
Oh,
This to me just sounds like a quote unquote generic Chicago song.
I
Like there's nothing
see.
really that stands out to me.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's even really this song's fault. I think it's just because of the nature of this album. It's kind of the same song over and over and over again
What's
because
all their
that's what
hits?
they were good at.
Yeah.
You know, that's what got popular. Um, but that being said, like it just doesn't stand out to me in any way. I like it, but it's not something I'm gonna be like, dude, you need to hear Saturday in the Park. It's such a good song. Oh, it's just like, yeah, I like this song.
I could not disagree more. Um, just kidding.
Then do it.
Um, actually, I don't actually disagree that much. Okay, so here's what I'll say. This song is kind of nostalgic for me. Is like it was one of the first songs that I like when I started like finding out like what music I really, because like when you're a kid you listen to like what's on the radio or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When I started being like, okay, what do I actually like? This was one of the
Right.
first songs that I would find myself listening to a lot. Um, I think the opening like da 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 da, like I think that is like one of the best things that's ever been put to paper. And then Mouthpiece. Um,
I do like the intro a lot.
yeah, I think the scene it paints, it reminds me so much of Schiller Park, which I grew up near. Which so this song is like it almost has like a place in my heart really, which probably inflates my feelings about it. Um, you said that it sounds. You said that they start to blend together, and
Mm-hmm.
honestly, since I'm more of a fan of Chicago than you are, I can totally see that because I've noticed that like. Are you wearing the Kurt Cobain shirt I got you? Oh my god, you're so sweet. I just noticed.
I love this shirt. It's my
I,
favorite shirt.
I got David a Kurt Cobain shirt for his Christmas, and he's wearing it.
I
Jeez,
am.
that shows that no matter how much we argue on the show, we kind of like each other. Anyway,
Well, yeah, each other. I like them. How about
let's
you?
say that one more time. We're breaking up.
I like physical material objects. Is what I like.
Me too.
There's
Especially.
nothing about this shirt that is related to you.
Oh,
It's not.
so I don't. This shirt doesn't make me think of you. It just makes me think of how much I like this shirt.
Exactly.
But I forgot what the fuck I was saying about Chicago.
You're saying that you can see how it sounds the same.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yes, because like if you're like not a fan of something where like you listen to it a lot, then like yeah, stuff like that kind of starts to blend together. So disagree with I dis I disagree with what you're saying, but it's only because of my like subjectively, I guess, but like objectively, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, and I think it's partially because this is a greatest hits album,
Yeah.
and this is what gets popular because this is good stuff. This is what Chicago does best.
Mhm.
So I think outside of the context of this album, I'd probably like it a little more. I don't know if it would go above a 7 out of 10, but which is what I'm giving it.
And that
But
good.
it does kind of sound the same to me. It's like I've heard this before. Is a good way to say it. Good way to
What
put it, I think.
and that makes sense too because 25 or 6 to 4 is a good ass song. And that's another reason. Okay, so that's another reason. That's another point against it being an opener because I don't think you want to lead off. I personally wouldn't lead an album off with the best song. Um, because I feel like everything after that is like, why am I even listening to this? And
I agree.
25 or 6 to 4 is a very hard song to beat. All right, but that's just like kind of a hypothetical. Anyway, back to Saturday in the Park. You said a 7?
I did.
Okay, real quick. Ham wrote it based off of his experiences dicking around in Central Park. There was something about him making like a video where he just made a video of like people living, and then watched it and like tried to build narratives off it, and I was like, that's weird as fuck. Um, and apparently the Ital so like the one verse is in Italian.
Yes.
Uh, I read that like the very first couple of words he says is the intro to some. I don't remember if it's like an opera or a poem or something, but it's like the intro to something to some song, and then the rest is just nonsense words, which is kind of funny.
It is kind of funny.
Because like before knowing that, I was like, ah, it's so pretty, but he's just saying like desk, table, chair, door, hinge.
The Beatles did that in Sunny, like, um, oh god, Mucho, Operati,
Oh,
thing.
the Sun King. Here comes the Sun King.
Yeah, here comes, oh crap, I can't remember that joke. Dang it. Yeah, Quando para mucho mi amore de felice corazon. That doesn't mean anything. A lot of these aren't real words.
That's awesome.
Mundo paparazzi mi amore chica verde parasol. But it sounds damn good, and it does sound good in this song as well.
Yeah, it's
But
badass. I wonder if it's less badass if you speak Italian.
probably.
Probably sad. But yeah, okay, so 7 out of 10. David's next. Feeling Stronger Every Day. This one was written by Peter Cetera, who was the bassist in Pankow for Chicago 6. This one reached number 10 on the charts. What do you think?
Solid. Sounds the exact same as the song before it.
I was going to say, yeah, now that I think about it, and it's funny because I don't think about them this way, but that's just because I really like them all.
Who you're familiar with.
But yeah, like I definitely like as I was thinking about how this one sounds, I was like, "Ooh, that sounds a lot like every like." Yeah, I could tell like if you weren't like a super fan, not necessarily super fan, but I see where you're coming from.
And
I think okay, so it's a song about feeling good after a not so good relationship, which hits a little personally to me right now, which just elevates the song for me. Um, but what do you think of like the? Do you have anything to say about the music, or is it just more of like?
I think I like this one more than Saturday in the Park. Not by enough to bump it up,
Uh,
but I think I'm gonna on repeated listens. I want to say listenings again. I don't know why. I think I'm gonna like this more and more.
mhm.
I said very nice chorus, and I said the outro jam is excuse me, God, is also very nice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like the keys a lot. They use a really I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was some kind of really cool synth or some kind of really cool analog synth I think for the keys in this song. Um, yeah, I don't know. I really like this song. This song is like a a a, uh, a song I would listen to, a hype song, a song I would listen to make me feel powerful.
Mm-hmm. See, to me, a lot of Chicago stuff that I've heard so far, at least,
Hmm.
is kind of in this middle ground where Feeling Stronger Every Day is, where it's like, this isn't bad by any means, but it's not so outstandingly good like 25 or 64 that it stands out in any way. And the reason why I think is because Chicago have shown they can write a damn good song.
Yeah.
And maybe this is just my own personal taste, but a lot of their songs kind of reach this middle ground of just sounding the same, but it's still good, but it's not like to me, I would never be like, hey, check this song out, unless they already like all of Chicago's stuff, basically.
Yeah, I think if I was showing people, if I wanted to tell somebody that Chicago was a good band, and I was just like picking out random songs, I wouldn't pick Feeling Stronger Every Day.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah,
But it is a good song. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. What's your rating for it?
7 out of 10.
Dope, dope. Right. Next up, we have "Make Me Smile." This one was by Cow for Chicago, so Chicago, also known as Chicago Two. Uh, this one was the first top 10 hit for the band. It peaked at number 9. What do you think?
I like it more than the ones. Partially, I think because I was I knew this song already.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that I knew it, but I had heard it before. I listened to Chicago too at some point. Didn't really remember anything but the hits from it,
Yeah.
like the really big hits, I guess. Which I don't even remember if there are any now that I think about it. But anyways, not the point. I did remember this song, and I think hearing it and having to be familiar really helped me like it more.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's so fun. It's such a fun, upbeat, catchy as well
Yeah.
song. I like the intro a lot. It's very catchy. I love it. I love catchy things. I don't know what it is about the groove in this song, but it just really hooks me in this one particularly. Um, Also, the chorus when he says "Make me smile"
Mm-hmm.
is so good. That's probably my favorite part in this entire song.
And the backup vocals of that part.
Yes. Oh, the guitar solo is amazing. I think again it would be better if it wasn't a guitar.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm really upset that it gets cut off at the end the way it does.
It's kind of
And
weird.
I
The
know
ending is weird.
the reason why it's like that is because on the original, I'm gonna friggin' school you about
Yeah.
your own
Well, it's
band.
because it was part of a medley
Yeah,
of 3
which
songs that "Color My World" was also in, I think.
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the medley to be honest,
I'm not
but
either, which is why I didn't mention it.
this song is really good.
Yes, but
I just
David's right. Yeah, this was part of a medley that they did. It was like the middle song. So the ending is really weird. It like it sounds like it's building up and then it goes dun 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 and then it's just over. And it's like what? And that's why.
yeah, it's depressing to be honest.
Yeah, and it's also like it's like 2.5 minutes long, I think. Maybe like more almost 3. Um
It's short.
it's very short. I fucking love this song. Oh my god, dude. This is one of my favorite songs. I think it's amazing. It's my favorite off the album. Yeah,
Really?
I wrote it's very catchy. It's really groovy and it is really fun and I don't know. Yeah, it's funny because like the very beginning, the lyrics start kind of sad. They're kind of weird actually because it goes children play in the park. They don't know I'm alone in the dark even though, and it's like, why are you worried about kids playing in the park not knowing that you're depressed? And then it just goes and it just gets so like fucking happy and groovy and awesome.
It's kind of funny. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, isn't it weird? Why are you talking about little kids? But no, it's this song is just good. This is definitely, if I was showing somebody, this is absolutely a song. If I wanted somebody to like Chicago, I would show them this song.
I agree. It's not the song I would show them, but like after a couple, I think this would be like number four, maybe number three or number four.
Yeah,
Um,
so this one is I like. But what do you think?
very good. One of my personal favorites. 9 out of 10.
Nice. All right. Next up, we have "Wishing You Were Here." This one was by Peter Cetera for Chicago 7. It hit 11 on the top 100 charts. What do you talk to me?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember what this sounds like in the slightest, but I will tell you what I wrote down.
Go ahead.
I the I said mysterious intro,
Uh
which I love. I don't remember what it sounds like at all, but I remember that I loved it.
huh.
I said great melodies and harmonies. I said it reminds me of Wings, the band, not like chicken wings. The band.
Reminds me of Hot Wings for some reason.
And I said that's always a good thing. I love Wings, one of my favorite bands of all time. Oh, I kind of remember this. The bridge has a really nice groove. It has like a constant quarter note kind of style groove where it's just like damn, 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 damn kind of thing, and I absolutely love that. For especially for bridges and stuff. Um,
Yeah. So I was just trying to think of what that sounds like, and yeah, it's like a piano stab, and the lyrics go like. Change my life. Yeah,
yeah,
that probably didn't help you at all, but it sounded good to me.
oh, it actually did. It actually really did.
Oh,
Because
did it really?
oh yeah, because I knew what lyrics you were singing
Yeah.
somehow. Oh, there's also like a synth in the background at some point. I don't know where, but it makes like this really really cool atmosphere that I really
Yes.
like.
Yeah, the song is very atmospheric. And on that's like the first time, at least on this album, that's the first time that anything is really that atmospheric. Because not necessarily that atmospheric. It's the first time an instrument like that is used. Because the atmosphere before is built completely with like guitars and like keyboards and brass. But now all of a sudden we have like this synth, and it kind of like I feel like it kind of tugs you out of the monotony maybe of the other songs.
Definitely.
Um, but you said you didn't like it as much.
No, I do. I gave it
Oh,
an 8 out of 10.
oh shit, I was wrong. I thought you did for some reason.
No, I
Um,
didn't. I don't remember it
that's
though.
right. Okay, yeah. Um, so an interesting thing about the song, Terry Kath was usually the guitarist, but he played bass, and Peter Cetera played guitar. So did you notice the harmonies, David?
I didn't write them. I said great melodies and harmonies. I don't remember the.
Well, something that I think you'll appreciate, David, is that the harmonies uh, were actually okay. Who are the members of the Beach Boys except for Brian Wilson?
There's Brian, and then there's that's it. No, and then there's Carl, his brother, and then Dennis, his other brother, and then there's Al Jardine and Mike Love.
Okay, so the ones that are the Beach Boys that are not Mike Love and Brian Wilson helped out with those harmonies
Oh, really?
in the song. Yeah, um,
I didn't know.
yeah. So I thought you might like that little tidbit.
I
Um,
do like that a bit.
Yeah, and it starts off with this really interesting like atmosphere building with like mostly synth, and I think personally like when they bring in like the more traditional instruments, like when they all find the beating, whatever, I think it's really cool. It's a really cool like impact point.
Yeah, I remember an arrival ever got to me.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't have that down, but I did like it.
yeah. Okay, so what you said 8 out of 10.
Yes, 8 out of 10.
Scrope. Next we have Call on Me. This one was by Lee Loughnane for Chicago 7. It reached number 6 on the top 100. Well, reached number 6 on the chart. And then Lee was he was a trumpet player, I think, and he was also a founding member.
I don't remember this one.
Can I be
uh,
honest?
yes.
I don't really remember this one either.
Um, I'll just read what I wrote. I said upbeat intro. I like it. It gives me Steely Dan vibes, which I like. Um, I said more horns, please, because I think there's like a really cool horn solo,
Hmm.
which I said was the best part of the song, and I wish there was more of that in it because. And then I also said I don't like the outro. I don't remember what it sounds like at all, but I said I don't like it. This is something that bothers me about Chicago a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll get into this later. They are a rock band, right? But not only are they a rock band, they're a rock band with a fucking horn section. Why don't you utilize that more? All of your best songs have awesome kick-ass horn solos or like stabs or
Yeah.
I can't think of it. Like, why the fuck do you rely on like guitar and stuff so much? Like, I like the guitar solos and I like piano. I like but like
That's not what's interesting, and that's not what's. I mean, there's like a billion rock bands.
right. There's no that's not unique to Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm not, and they're not like Jimi Hendrix where they're like best guitarist alive.
Yeah.
Like stuff is it's good, very good, but it's like you could do so much more. My favorite songs on my favorite Chicago songs have a lot of horns in it, or they're like "Wishing You Were Here," where it's like very different,
Hmm.
not in a bad way. Like color, what is it? Colors of My Skin or something stupid like that. Color of My World.
What's it called? My favorite Chicago song is "Colors of My Skin."
It's like Ebony and Ivory.
Right. Yeah. It's the same deal.
No one likes it. It's either 7 out of 10. I don't know what that means because I don't remember this song.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, this one I don't really remember either that much.
Apparently, I like it though. So.
Yeah, I put smooth. I said the percussion was really good. I wrote standout percussion, so I guess I was wrong about that. um, but maybe I just meant. I think this is another song that I wouldn't really listen to out of the context of the album. But in context of the album, like it's good. It's definitely one that I think would get lost in the mix out of the really really good songs on this album. But I think it deserves its spot. Um,
Um, sure.
Next up, we got "Searching So Long."
Got I've been, but it's parenthetically.
Yeah, and I'm lazy, so so I write that down. Parenthetically, I've been searching so long. This one was by Pink L for Chicago 7, hit number 9. What do you think?
I'm trying to look at the lyrics and see if I remember this one because I don't remember how it sounds, but I do remember I really liked this one.
Uh huh.
I said here's what I wrote. I like the intro. Don't know what it sounds like, but I said I like it. I said the verse melody is really good, but I also don't remember that. So that's I guess a lie. I don't know. The horn apparently like the horns weren't there in the beginning, but then they came in.
Mm-hmm.
I said very welcome addition to the soundscape.
It's a good word.
And I said this is how they should do their ballads because the other ones kind of suck in comparison. Oh, I do remember this. There was a section where there was like a build up. And it was like building up to like a big moment, and then it didn't really go anywhere, but then it did.
Yeah, it was like delayed.
Like, all at once, and I hate that. I hate that so much. That like almost ruined the song for me
Uh-huh.
because I'm so excited. I was getting really into the like, everything's like getting big. It's gonna fucking explode, and then it like levels out. I'm like, oh, that was so just like disappointed me so
Disappointing. Yeah,
much.
it gave me blue balls.
And then it exploded, and it's like, well, it doesn't have the same effect if it's not like you either if you're gonna do an explosion, you either have to have a build up that's a nice steady build up over a long time, or you got to bring it way down low, way quiet, and then fucking explode.
Right,
If
4K
you,
piano.
which it didn't, but I still liked it overall.
Um, I actually wrote in the context of the album, it's all right. I'm not crazy about this one. I don't quite remember what this one sounds like either, to be honest.
That's not a good sign. I did give it an 8 out of 10 though.
Wow.
So I liked it when I listened to it.
I think I think I think being on the album makes me almost like it more because I like all the other songs so much. But also like I said, this isn't one that I would listen to if I wasn't listening to Chicago 9.
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying. I I have no clue if I agree or not because I don't know the song, but
8 out of 10.
apparently I don't because 8 out of 10 means I love it and I would put it in my playlist.
Uh-huh.
I think I did put it in my playlist. I don't remember. I'm gonna listen to all these again probably before I decide to put any of them in my playlist,
Yeah.
except for a couple.
Uh,
Um,
Last but not least is the last song on the album, which is called Beginnings. Isn't that quirky? This one was by Lamb for Chicago Transit Authority, also known as Chicago. This one didn't chart, but it was
really?
re-released and then it charted. So it didn't initially chart, but they re-released it after Make Me Smile charted, and then this one charted. What'd you say?
That's crazy to me because this is by far the best song on this album, the best Chicago song I've ever heard. This is like top like 50 songs of all time at least for me. I absolutely adore this song. And I'm looking apparently because the single version was under 3 minutes, so
Yeah.
that might be why. Is like this song only works because it's 8 minutes long, or I think 7 minutes
Yeah,
or something.
I think it is it's on the longer end. I think you're right. I think it is 8 minutes long.
And I didn't even put this together that it's called Beginnings, but I think this would be a much better opener.
That's what I was thinking too.
I didn't even put together the fact that it's called Beginnings, but it would be an amazing opener. And I think 25 or 64 would be a great closer. I think if these two were swapped, it would be a much better album experience. That being said, it is a greatest hits album, so it doesn't really matter. It's just a collection of songs.
Yeah, but no, I agree. Honestly, because I was kind of thinking that too. Is that if you switch Beginnings and 2564, then it might all kind of flow better. But one thing I do really like is when albums end with long ass songs. I don't know why, but I really like that. I will say with this song is just it's just a lot of it's just like what makes Chicago good, really, for 8 minutes.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
the guitar at the beginning, it's just fun. The melody is so catchy and singable, and then it gets more catchy when it gets to the chorus. The part where he's like, whoa, 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 whoa,
Yeah.
that is so good. In the first chorus, there is no horns, but in the second chorus, there is that kind of small little details.
Right.
I eat that up. I love it.
Right.
The drum fills where it's like boom, 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 and he's like, I don't know, but he's like playing drum. But it's so good. And And then the trombone solo comes in, and it's fantastic. And then the trumpet comes in, and it's like a dual trumpet trombone solo,
Yeah, this
and
song is
it's my
amazing.
favorite moment in music. Well, I don't know about favorite, but it's definitely like top
I
10
was gonna say,
at least,
damn,
probably top 5 at least.
damn.
It's so good, and this is exactly what I mean about Chicago bothers me because they have the ability to write songs
Yeah,
this good, this absolutely amazing. Um, there's two things I would say are like kind of criticisms, I guess.
okay.
So the trombone trumpet solo duet thing is good. It lasts for like good is an understatement. It's amazing. It lasts for like I think like a minute, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then it stops, and then they just go back to like only the beginning. It's like why would you do that? Why would you ever do that? Why don't you build up the tension? Like have the trumpet and this trombone take us out.
Yeah,
What are you doing? That would be so good.
yeah, that's something that I notice in a lot of longer songs is like I don't know, yeah, is they do things like that a lot where they'll have like a really good solo, but it's like in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know. I said the outro is a smidge too long, and I think that's only because the trombone and trumpet drop out.
Hmm.
That said, the actual outro, the like drum thing, I actually really like it. I think
Um,
it's actually like perfect addition to the song.
yeah, and like that thing you were mentioning, I don't remember what song we were. I don't even remember if it was on this album or if it was on one of the if it was one of the top 10 songs we were talking about. But I mentioned uh, how there are little things you can do to make a song seem less repetitive as it goes on. And that thing you said with like the first chorus, there's not horns, and the second one there is. Um, that's an example of that. And
Right.
doing or like having the drums do something different, or having one part not here, and then it comes in later. Um, and yeah, this song is in some ways it's a really good example of a long song that's good because a lot of people that I know I feel like wouldn't would look at a song that's 8 minutes long and be like, oh, what the fuck. I feel like a lot of people I know would look at a song that's like 4 minutes long and be like, that's a little long.
Victoria's like
Really?
she doesn't like anything over like 3.5 minutes, unless it's something like Bohemian Rhapsody where it changes a lot
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of like keeps her interest. Um, I don't know that she would like this song to be honest because it doesn't change up enough I think for her, but I'll find
It's a
out.
little it's kind of subtle.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do absolutely love this song though. 10 out of 10,
Oh.
by far the best Chicago song I've ever heard. Like
Okay.
25 or 64, I love that song. I might honestly change that to 10 out of 10 as well.
Mm.
But this song is like a 20 out of 10 at that point. Like I'm not even kidding. This is such a perfect song to me. Um,
Cool. Yeah, that's funny because yeah, that you actually like that song more than I don't dislike that song by any means, but I don't like it that much. But yeah, that's always exciting. Um, so what do you think of the album like as a whole?
overall, I gave it an 8 out of 10. So I would like recommend this album to people who like this kind of stuff. Definitely, I'm gonna listen to it again and again.
Me too.
We'll see. Good. I don't know if it's gonna go up or down the rating, but um, 8 out of 10 for now.
Uh huh.
Um, I do like it a lot. I think my mom's speaking. Can you hear that?
I can't.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we should be
Anyways,
good.
I did like this album, but um, Chicago as a band is pretty inconsistent because they have insane amounts of talent, like crazy amounts of talent,
Yeah.
uh, and they can and do write songs as amazing as Beginnings and 25 or 6 to 4,
Hmm.
but most of these songs like they're just not there. They're just not there. And I know that like there's going to be filler, but this is a greatest hits album. Why aren't there 10 versions of Beginning? It's like I think it would get samey a little bit,
Hmm.
but like more stuff like Make Me Smile too. because
Hmm.
like that's in the sweet spot between like a perfect song like Beginnings and like a generic song like Feeling Stronger Every Day to me.
Yeah.
Um, to me, the solos are always the best part of their songs because they're supposed to be like jazzy.
Yeah.
Why don't you put more like why don't you lean into the jazz more? But
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
They're definitely kind of walking that line.
yeah, I think there's an album that I know that does this exact same kind of thing, but better. It's not a greatest hits album, but in terms of like genre,
Uh huh.
it does this kind of general thing, but much better in my opinion. Which is going to be my recommendation, I
Oh,
guess,
okay.
for a choice for next week.
Um, I I see what you're saying with but I think like since this is a greatest hits album, that's like so you can imagine that the rest of the stuff that's not on the greatest hits is like even more bland. Um, well, like
Exactly.
yeah, so that's and I mean
I'm
I
not
don't
saying it is,
and also
but it
like
come
I
up that way.
I think I think too like some of that might be because well, you know, like what's more commercially accessible is going to be the stuff with lyrics that you can sing along to, especially for like the top 40 charts. Um, because I agree, like, I think for the most part, where they shine is where they really show how they're unique. Um, but the thing is, you know, when it comes to like top 40 popular music, that's not usually what sells. It's what we know is good. And like Chicago for me is always like a band that I just their music usually I throw on while I'm driving or while I'm doing something, and a lot of them are like I said, really nostalgic, uh,
Yeah,
and that's what I think. And that, but that's just like that's just well, yeah, it's just what I think.
right. I do like Chicago. I think they're a good band. I think I'm gonna like them, but I think it's gonna be. I think what it is I'm gonna like some songs from their albums and not typically many albums. Like I don't think there's gonna be like oh you need oh you should
Well,
listen to the album from Chicago. I could be wrong about that, but
I
I
think
think it's gonna be just like you should listen to these songs, not this album.
well
That makes
that's why I picked a greatest hits album. Yeah, so I no, I honestly, if that is what happened, then I would not blame you because that's why my favorite. I honestly, hopefully, I don't really want to do a lot of greatest hits albums because I like looking at albums more in like in their condensed world. But this album is one of my favorites, and I just wanted to get it out of the way. And I still think that like even though it is a greatest hits album, so there's not really you know what I mean. There's no like necessarily like narrative or like point of focus. Um, I think it still has like obviously it still has artistic merit on its own. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to get it out of the way. Um,
yeah. I
okay.
did like good experience.
So what's your recommendation, or what are we
How
listening to this week,
are you with Steely Dan?
brother? I fucking love Steely Dan.
Have you heard Asia?
Fuck. I don't think I had. I don't think I don't think I listened to the whole album all the way through.
Okay, because if not, that is my recommendation.
Dope.
Because I'm honestly not that familiar with Steely Dan. Um, this is like the only album by them I know, and it's because my friend Auden he recommended it to me because it's very jazzy and good. And I think this does what Chicago tries to do in their style,
Uh huh.
but better.
Um. Ooh. Okay. This is gonna be fucking awesome, dude. I love Steely Dan.
Look
God.
up the look up the album. See if you
I
don't know
don't.
all the songs.
I fuck. Well, yeah. Let's see what's on the album.
If you do know it, I'm gonna do a different album.
Well, I have. Let me see. Dude, I just went to Google and tried to type in Google. Steely Dan. Asia. My Honestly, Steely Dan is a band though where I don't listen. Where like most of what I know is like songs. Oh, it's
Right.
AJA.
Yes.
Odd. Oh,
Yeah, that took
Asia.
me a
I
while
get it.
to understand.
Asia.
Yes, I don't get it.
Because like it's like a soft J sound.
Oh, I thought you meant like there's a joke to it.
No, no. Probably just that they thought. Oh my god. Okay, so let me see if I can find a track list. Yeah, I'll probably just know like a couple songs on here like out of context. I'm actually excited, dude. I love Steely Dan. Um, do you know their like deal?
Um, kinda.
Should we
They're
save
kind
it
of
for the next episode?
but yeah, I think so. I'll do some research. All right, I'll be prepared.
Oh, I've actually never heard any of these songs.
None of them?
No.
Well,
Nice.
you're in.
Nice. I'm excited. So that
Yeah,
means
it's.
that we're doing the week of
Oh yeah.
yeah, let me see.
Uh, the week of January through July. Oh wait, that's recorded. Never mind. I was like, how did this get released over a couple months?
Well, that's
Um,
crazy. Was this a Kanye West album?
topical. September 23rd, 1977. Whatever week that is.
Cool. So it's probably gonna the top 10 is probably gonna sound similar to the last to this episode.
Probably.
Cool. Okay. So yeah. So thank you for listening. Yeah. This episode we reviewed Chicago 9 by Chicago Transit Authority, also known as Chicago. They originally started as the Big Thing, also, which is a pretty cool band name. Next week we'll be listening to Asia by Steely Dan. That is AJA for those of you playing along. So yeah, feel free to listen along and tell us what you think. Do you have any closing thoughts, Yavid?
Um, listen to Chicago, but don't go in thinking you're gonna get an album experience.
Yeah,
Think
just
like
listen to Chicago.
when you listen to a song, evaluate the song itself, and then go on to the next song. Don't analyze them in context. Even though we kind of did that when we were like, well, beginnings would be a better opener, but um, yeah,
I can't even think of a justification as for why we talked about a greatest hits album as if it was a normal album, but we did. So
because we did.
I feel like even with greatest hits albums, you can still make like a streamlined experience.
You definitely can, but you don't have to.
Just like you don't have to listen to our show, but you decided to, and for that we thank you.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye.